Welcome to the War of Myth West Finals, Day 3, the final day here of action. 3 more games to go. Who's going to come out on top? Well, you know what? We're here to find out, and I'm not alone. You see to my right, the man, the myth, the legend, the beast, the French nugget himself. Max, man, how you doing, my friend?
I feel like Daenerys in Game of Thrones was like, the breaker of chains, liberated the dragons, and he's just gone for ages, and then it's like, Max Man at the end is like, it breaks everything. But yeah, it feels good to be back, Imperium. I'm happy to be back with you. I know you've been solo casting, so we need someone to carry you a little bit from time to time. So I was like, you know what? I'll give you a little break on the 3rd day of the event, and we'll see how it's going to go. But no, I've been able to check out a little bit of the rankings. I've been, unfortunately, moving and doing some furniture. I went to IKEA and stuff, so I've been busy. But I know that we had some teams that, with some really big teams playing in Seven, and I'm really hyped to see how it's going to be ending up at the end of today.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Let's get kind of straight into it because we are going to be getting into Game 1 soon enough. The overall standings. And I thought you might be happy to see this Alliance coming out on top so far. 117 points in 6 games.
Well, make it sound like I'm biased, which I am, you know, but it's not cool to kind of expose me. So I don't really appreciate that, Imperium. But yeah, no, I said, as you said, it is cool to see Alliance in this tournament do so well, especially when we know that in the past, Alliance has been a team that has always done really well. You can even think back to their recent PMPL CIS, and they could have made it to the EMEA Championship. But they didn't make it by just a few points. And it's happened the season even before that, and I feel like it's been happening since the Big Bang at the start of the universe. So seeing them first is actually a really good change of pace. So I'm hoping that they can now transition that into actual official events later on down the line. But also, we got to talk about the teams that we covered for a long time, especially in the Western Europe PMPL, right? It's PANDA and Destiny. Seeing the two, especially PANDA, I'm really happy to see up there in 3rd and 4th position, respectfully. Despite some changes just happened, especially for Destiny, it is good to see them actually stand on top like this. And it is just a really good way to appreciate these European teams and see what they can bring once we hit PMGC at the end of the year and see who actually is going to represent Europe in general at that event.
For sure. And that's where I've also been impressed with Nova, because they're a side that are playing from North America, so they're going to have a generally higher amount of ping. And they've been playing with such a heavy amount of confidence. Their day 1 performances over the first 3 games were incredibly high, especially from a kill point of view. But then yesterday, they did slip off a little bit, consistency-wise, and that's where Alliance were able to take advantage. Destiny, yesterday's game 1, Max, 19 kill point game. 19 kill game. Yeah, 19 kill game. 19 kills. 19.
Okay.
1-9.
19 kills.
Yeah, they didn't get the chicken dinner. They finished 3rd, but still 19 kills. Insane.
I think you get 19 kills. You're like, hey, we don't need a win. You know, we're gonna die now. It's fine. It's okay.
Mihi, their IGL, got 11 of those kills.
Man, what? This is like a KED 2.0. He's going for it, man. This guy's getting insane, Mihi. I mean, great to see from Destiny, of course. And we did see, though, of course, from Destiny back in the PMPL, Western Europe, that they can start really strong and go down. What we want to see them work on for the past few months and hopefully into the foreseeable future is that they remain consistent. I know it's a word I say a lot. Jason would come after me, so like, stop saying that word. I'm going to say it again. They need to be consistent. Exactly. And I think that Destiny, I mean, the 19 kill game, that's great. That's explosive. But what is there behind that after? We'll need to see a bit more on the other games. It's
funny because the next game they got 0 points. So you are dead right. It kind of cancelled it out. But no, you are dead right. And one trait that I've always said about Destiny is that they always seem to lose a player early on, right? Yeah. And that really hurts their late game mentality and hurts their late game control. The Miramar game that they got 19 kills, they had all 4 players up into the late game. And I'm just kind of like, there you go. Proof is in the pudding. You keep yourself up as a full squad late game, you're able to control so much more. Never mind the fact that they were aggressive. But Destiny showed up strong. GODSENT have been okay. I expected a bit more from Fate, to be fair. Considering how strong they performed in the recent EMEA Championship. And Nasr ESPORTS have also, to be fair, at times impressed me a little bit on how they've been able to perform across the 6 games.
Yeah, I'm seeing though when I'm looking at the second page, I'm seeing Clash, and their logo is black. So apparently they turned to the dark side. They became a Sith in Star Wars. Apparently, I don't know what's happened, and it's not been working too good for them either. Currently standing with 37 points in 10th place. Hoping to see a little bit better from the French homies potentially later on today. And UDR Kills 2 are going to be in a relatively good spot. And then you got teams like Conqueror Europe that I was expecting to be a little bit higher. Not gonna lie, Imperium. Not able to get there just yet. So hopefully the teams that are on the bottom part, you still got 3 more games. That's way more than enough to actually just scratch yourself an extra position in the top 9 at the very end of today. But you need to get good result after good result after good result for that to actually happen.
I would say after a good result, but there's only 3 games per day, so you only have 3 good result chances to really make a difference in these finals. We're getting into game 1 though, Max. We're getting into it soon. We're hovering on over to Miramar. Based on what you do roughly know about a few teams and stuff like that, is there any team that you're kind of looking out for a little bit more?
I mean, typically, especially after PMPL Western Europe, I would say Panda. But after seeing their performances on this map in the EMEA Championship Season 1, I would say this does not seem like their flagship map anymore. At least doesn't feel like that. We'll have a Stanok later on, so of course we're going to have to say Destiny. We're expecting them to do well. But when it comes to Miramar, I'm a little bit like a blank canvas right now. This is going to be like a raw first impression for a lot of these teams on me to see how good they can do, how good they're going to rotate. So upon hitting Phase 2, Phase 3, I'll be like which teams are good at rotating and which teams are, I'm not going to say bad, but a little bit all over the place. So we'll see early on as we're going to have a relatively southern playing path. Teams that like to go for Cobriera, Torre Ahumada, Campo Militar might have a little bit of a risky situation for them to go for an elongated drop, but other than that, we should be good in the hood, Imperium. Are you good in the hood, Imperium?
Indeed. I am good in the hood.
Wow.
I'm good in the hood. I've never been to the hood, but I'd like to think that if I was in the hood, I would be good.
You know what? Yes. My homie never played GTA or something. Come on, man. Gotta give it a try.
Whoa.
What's that all about?
What a start to this game. It's wonderful. No, we're dropping down in Porto Priso. Our GSG and Lazarus heading in the right direction. And obviously we're going to have the likes of Fate dropping in Los Leones.
Yeah. Talking about 5 stars, apparently Lazarus, they're going to have the police on their back. They got GSG that's going to be rolling after them slowly but surely. So might have a little bit of an early altercation between these 2 teams. Other than that, not really too surprised to see where some of these teams are going. No teams are actually deciding to aim for one of the southern locations down south of Los Leones, which I find very interesting. You got a decent amount of compounds. Sure, it would force you to go for a relatively split job to get enough loot for yourself. But that position not being used at all is a little bit surprising to me. So it seems like teams are just more capable of aiming for those drops as a phase on circle pops, and that's got quite a lot of that big mountain onto the western side, so that could cause a few issues.
Oh wow, yeah, that phase on circle is a bit of a pain in the poo-poo for the start of the final day. Massively on the west where the guitar shape is out of bounds. I'm having a look at Picado because MXR, the sponsor team, is dropping in Picado with Conqueror. Now, over the last 2 days, MXR didn't drop in Picado, so I find it a little bit peculiar that they are in the final game of the day. But they're going up against Conqueror, and they're not a team to be messed with, Max.
Yeah, Vite trying his best to maybe get a little bit of an angle, but he's going to retreat back with his team. Though this is very interesting, actually, because Conqueror's got a wide array of angles that's going to be working really well in their favor, making it really hard for... So you call them the sponsored team? Is that what you call them?
Yeah, basically because the sponsors of the prize pool, it's that team. That's why they're the sponsors team.
Okay, the sponsored team. They're not going to be a little bit surrounded, but they do have I'm going to call him Risen. That is going to be also having access to that good high ground position from the building. So he's going to be able to scout and give information to his 2 teammates, but still Conqueror, they're not going to give up easily on this one. So you've got to be careful, and seem like Reeves is slowly but surely going to eke his way forward towards Bro and try and force a one-on-one.
Yeah, it's definitely all about what Reese can do to cause a distraction, to separate, to basically allow Vito and Azzy to push forward from across apartments. He's taking his time. I like the fact that he's doing a little bit of scouting, TPP, making sure to move along, now rocking into Casino. I like it coming out from him, but I suggest he switch over to a bit of action that could be going down in El Pozo as Galaxy Racers, formerly known as Guns, looking to take some action onto the Clash players.
Okay, I need to get into the same area. There we go. Galaxy Racers going to be over here. Seen these guys back in BMW, at least the name, not the same team at all, actually, but still good to see a little bit of presence from Galaxy Racers in the PUBG Mobile esports scene. Though, as you said it, there you go. Clash, the French homies, they're going to be coming in. Trazen and Shadow. Shadow's going to be pushing down below as they're taking a little bit slower. Aza, by the way, being one of the players that I love to see actually play in the PNPL Western Europe. I think he was one of the big reasons why Clash were able to perform so well. So I'm hoping to see more achievements from this guy in the near future. But so they're going to be pushing their way upstairs. So every single angle you don't clear could be your team going down.
Man, that wasn't really well coordinated between Azar and Shadow. Comes in, the drop shot is played out. Hamodi gets the kill. And that's a beautiful defense from Galaxy Racers. But like I said, the coordination was not there between Asser and Shadow. Shadow went in first. Asser was no way, shape, or form behind him. They got the 1, they got the 2, they got Trazen, and now it's just MZ left on his own. Okay, well, Hamodi 1v3, that's a good way for you to start your Miramar adventure, if I may say so myself. What a good showcase of this player. Though, they didn't get the entire team. There's still going to be a few players that they're going to try and potentially pin on down. During that time, GODSENT going to be taking their fight on the more eastern edge of this entire compound. There's going to be Peko. He's going to be, unfortunately, pinned down in this location really hard. At least he was able to loot up some utility. That's great, but he's down to just about less than 50% HP. He's got no meds to play with. So I think that here Peko is going to be losing his life unless a miracle is about to happen. Indeed, indeed. To wait and see what goes down there. Arzen did get knocked down by Reeves. Peko actually, Peko nades himself. It's a little bit of a feels bad man in the feed. Kind of wanted to switch over to this fight in Picado as Conqueror looked to push in a little bit more heavily onto the rest of MXR and really seal the deal. 1 kill on board, another player knocked down. They now have the body advantage, Max. Reeves on top of the casino building, while Vito's on top of the other building, and Zazie is by the side of the road. I like this one, especially because they got rid of Risen onto the building right behind them. They lost the visibility and the information that was coming their way, so now they're just going to be smoked away, making sure that they can't take shots from the doors, from the windows. They're just trying to suffocate them inside this building, and they're going to go for the push eventually at some point in time, I believe. Vito trying to jump on down, Breeze trying to get the angle, picks up one, going for the double, and that is done from the sponsor team as Conqueror clear out the entire house, and that's going to be 3 easy kills going their way. Yeah, fantastic. Well-coordinated attack, and considering what we didn't see from Clash in terms of their coordination, we just saw it coming out from the Conqueror side. So a few teams starting to make their way towards the center of the circle. 25x9 Sniper, UDR Killers. You have the side of actually, who is that? Who? Who is this? Ooh. Yeah, okay, gotta be careful from Lazarus too. Is, but okay. Yeah, Lazarus might get a little bit of a back and forth with the likes of GSG. I mean, Captain took a pretty severe beating early, and he's got no meds, nothing to really play with. He's got actually no loot at all, I have the impression. Does he have a weapon even? Oh, he does have himself a weapon. Okay, he has a shotgun, and he has also another one, but I can't tell what it is because it has a skin. I think it's a UMP. So he's just going to try and stay prone, hopefully avoid detection from Lazarus, and wait for the blue to engulf them so he can start moving and hopefully get back to the safety of his team. But not looking too good as the rest of GSG has moved into El Azahar. So he's going to have to try and catch up to them eventually later on down the line. But so far, nothing really too insane. We do have to say, Imperium, though, this is pretty important. We did have 20 teams, so we were pretty much expecting to have early game team fights. So I'm not really too surprised to see this many kills coming through. Yeah, true. Very true indeed. Yeah, on a side note, so just deciphered some information. Lions aren't playing this game 1, which is a bit of a feels bad, man. So there is a team R3D in their spot for this game 1. Then slot 16 is going to have another team as well, Illuminate. Yeah. So that's a couple of changes for this game 1. Panda are rotating from this Valdemar region. Good spot that they were in to begin with. Now moving up the hillside early on will hopefully allow them to create some form of control. But I'm looking at Fresh, and he's getting very close to Rwanda 25x9 Sniper. Yeah, next to Rwanda. Not going to be showing himself just yet.
And Fresh is more like scouting for the rest of Panda.
Sorry, triple.
Trying to get more intel. Fresh trying to potentially peek on over, but they're not going too far like that. They know that that hilltop could be the death of them, so Panda are going to be very, very aware of their surroundings and trying to take it a step at a time. I think some noise has been made. Yeah, definitely. Panda are definitely giving the intel over. As all going to be now to Raran, and there you go. The push is going to be happening. Going to have to take that fight versus Fresh. Fresh jumps out. Such a good reaction time, but unfortunately, clearly not enough to fight versus Rawan. Let's have Panda now trying to make sure he doesn't peek over. Can't go for the flush just yet. Yumi and Tiamo, what is going to be the game plan for them? As Fresh is going to be in a spot that's really hard for him to crawl his way back to his team.
It's also super important that the rest of 25x9 look to in some way join up, right, and execute this team fight. You've gotten the lead, you've gotten the control. Nade should start flying, have one player wrapping around forward. They're allowing the revive to get pulled off, and that could go very horribly against 25x9.
I was about to say, we need a player to go onto the more western side, actually, of this mountain and try and get himself an angle onto Fresh, where he just got res, but they were not able to do that. So that's Fresh back on his 2 feet. Tiamo also able to heal up after that nade. But I love this play from Azza, actually. I mean, there's 2 Azzas in the game. I'm going to get hella confused, man. But that's fine. We'll play around with it. As he's going to go for the wide rotate down southeast. And he's going to try and create a little bit of an upper hand situation. It is very wide, but if he does get the angle onto Panda, there's no escape, which is why Panda are trying to best way possible to move away, which I think is a really good play from them.
Yeah, you are dead right, to be fair. Tiamo does separate himself from his teammates, but Azar is there. The shots are being fired up, misses for the time being, has to reload. He gets choked down to half health. Unfortunately, not making it work for the time being. His position has been compromised.
Yeah, a little surprised, actually. He was able to put Azar down solo HP, but Tiamo... if he doesn't have a smoke to smoke away his vehicle, I don't think this is going to work too well in his favor, unless the rest of Panda come to try and help him, which seem like they could be trying to do. They're trying to get the higher point possible to fight from, try and get a little bit of a better advantage point to fight the rest of 25x9. But there you go. Had a few smokes remaining for Tiamo, so that's good. I said that was going to be the only real escape potential for him. Makes it over to the shack. Nades could be the main issue, but I don't think that 25 are ready to commit that far and that deep into this fight this early on, especially.
Phase 2 popped up, to be fair, Max, and it is a really solid Phase 2 because it shifts back up to the northeast, so it's away from the out-of-bounds area of the map, a little bit more centralized within the confines of the map itself, and there is still a lot of high ground in play by the Chumasera area, La Julera, but it does open up the kind of power grid high grounds and Picado high grounds for teams to set themselves up on.
It could be a good place to play from. I think it could work really well, as you just said. So I think there's a lot of expectations for teams that are in positions like these, though. Careful, I've seen some... Oh, actually, I'm hearing it from your screen, Imperium. I'm going to move down to Nova, as they are slowly but surely getting closer and closer to Panda. And Panda, especially from their point of view, they could have a sneaky low angle onto a play or two of Nova. So got to be careful. Also got Buddy Kong right behind Memory, so it's going to give him a little bit of moral support. His Memory's trying to peek on over, and I think they just maybe spotted out play. No, he didn't spot one out, I thought, for a second, but they have yet to detect each another. But I think that Panda have got the intel a little bit of time ago.
Nova did spot a couple of vehicles that have been...
They know something happened.
Left there. They know something has happened. They know there's someone around. There's life
in
the land. But I do switch on over to this fight between Destiny and Fate. Fate being put under a bit of pressure. Beast comes on board. He gets a second knock. And now it's just one player left of Fate. Looking to shine their way through his Destiny. This was the map that they got the massive 19 kill game. And they're coming into day 3. Looking to do something similar. Just one player left. Mafia's left on his own for Fate.
A 19 kill game in one game, that's something. But twice in a row? We'll see. We'll see. I don't think the odds are already in their favor. We'll never know until we see it actually happen. Beast, though, he knows there was a player that was trying to escape, and now it's going to be Mafia trying his best to make it away to safety. He got spotted away, and there is no escape. He got one of the worst positions to fight from Imperium, and rest of Destiny, they healed up. They got all the players knocked away. Hamco 5 potentially fed their information over. Mafia has got absolutely nothing to play for, and he's just going to get mowed down. And unfortunately, can't move away at any point in time. Let's get a nice knock onto Mihi. Can he trade into a kill instantly? That would be a really valuable point, but I don't think he's able to get it just yet. And now BC's going to go a little bit closer, try and pin him down even more and more. One more bullet, and he's out. And that's going to be Mafia taken down by Destiny. But did put a pretty decent fight.
Yeah, I got to give credit to Mafia. I think he did a good job. He did lock up and probably should have looked to reposition. But it is hard. It is. Raad, yeah, it's hard. Switching straight on over to Raad going up against UDR. Killers. Both teams, should I say, players under a lot of pressure. Sebi comes in to rock up, provide a little bit of support to his team. He gets one. Noki's going to get the second. Sebi, with a sliver of health, comes in strong, but he's going to get knocked in the back line by the last player from Raad. That's up. Ulysses is close by. He's the last hope for UDR.
I mean, both teams only got last hope. It's down to a 1v1, but I think the res is going to come out from Raad, and that's it. Now it's a 1v2. Ulysses still got so many meds, but not going to be using it whatsoever. He's just forcing the fight. Noki doesn't have a lot of time, and unfortunately, time is something he's not going to have anymore as he gets sent straight to the cemetery, and that's going to be an extra bunch of kills going straight to the way of Raad.
Beautiful. Good stuff from Raad. They're even going to survive as a 3-man team because that wasn't confirmed, and it's his first knock, so he's not even bleeding out too heavily. I8. Great to see IA play. Great to be able to cast IA as well, to be fair. Refuse, Blade, and Uzum. Man, bunch of absolute legends. They made a really solid rotation from the southeastern part of Phase 1 all the way around the kind of lower ground of Valdemar and in past the likes of Nova and Panda. So that's a really good rotation from IA.
I can't even see them on my minimap. And I'm so not used to using a minimap and doing the spectating myself.
You,
I'm like,
I get you.
Where are they? Are they hiding from me? They don't want me to see
They're
them.
to the west of Tumasera. In pink.
In pink. I see them. Hello. How you doing? Okay, there you go. Oh, so nice. I know they were hiding because I said happy birthday to Crypto late a few months ago, so I'm sure he's just hiding from me. That's probably the reason.
Yeah, he messaged me yesterday, you know, my new best friend Crypto, and he's like,
not again.
That Maxman guy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that Maxman guy, man. He ticks me off sometime, man. I'm not gonna lie. But you know what? This circle's going to take off a bunch of the players as it goes straight towards Monte Nuevo and the more southern side of the compound of El Pozo. So not many compounds to play from, but if you know the terrain, you could definitely use it to your advantage. And especially one team that I'm loving their position right now is Sniper. Even though I would like to see them maybe try and regroup a little bit more.
Yes.
But I think that in terms of terrain opportunities, their position has a lot of opportunities to offer if they use it correctly.
Also, GODSENT, I know they're only down to a duo, but in terms of space around them and any kind of team putting them under pressure, there's nobody there for the time being. So at least for the next circle and a half, they are looking pretty good inside this game. Yalla start to get the shots off and they're protecting their compound inside the central area of the circle. Powerful, getting a knock and a kill.
Yeah, N249 now, we have to recall it once again, even though it happened quite a while ago, that these do spawn in the native way. They're not like flowers or something, like they're not natural, but they will spawn naturally around the map.
They're
it would be cool. It would be cool if they just, you could just grow like an M4. I would love that. That would be pretty sick. But they're just going to be moving away. GODSENT not really willing to fully commit to the edge of the circle, and I knew that GXL were trying to rotate away. So they're going to try and centralize, which I think is a really good decision to make from GODSENT. Now be careful. GSG are pushing closer towards Sniper. Luckily, they didn't get taken down now, but later on, it could go against them as the Summer gets instantly put down by a great Mini 14 shot by Reeves.
Yeah, the third party from Reeves. He's so dangerous in that kind of mid-long range parts of a fight, whether it's a Mini, whether it's a DP28. The Irish God is a very dangerous player, given the opportunity to shine. But Lazarus, what the... Telly Fears? What the...
I was about to say, that is a little overzealous and overconfident.
Yeah.
So, that's not going to work. You see the terrain here, and that's why I talked about terrain. You got some high ground, you got compounds around you. A full Senate like this, unless you have multiple vehicles, is not going to work out, or at least very rarely will actually work out and come to fruition. So, nice try. I respect the attempt because of the late rotation that happened earlier, but didn't quite go their way here, Imperium.
No, it didn't indeed. I really like Nasr's spot. That's just on the very southern tip of the circle, because I think compared to a couple of other teams, like let's say, R3D, 25x9, Yalla, they have a lot better exit potential on the next phase shifting. So, if it goes up north to me, they have a lot more space to kind of move into the north around a few of these teams. So I really like Nasr's spot. Plus, because it's high ground, they're getting a lot of valuable information.
I think it could be very helpful. We're going to see if the circle goes right up north, then unfortunately the RNG gods are going to go against them. But if it is somewhat in their vicinity, they're going to have a lot of opportunities to pick from. And choice is, I think, very important when you come in a game like PUBG Mobile, so you can make the better decision, get a good position, and avoid fights or go for a fight, depending on what your playstyle is. So I think that that's going to be definitely going to the advantage of Nasr, so I fully agree there, Imperium. But the circle actually does go somewhere in their favor, so that's an easy rotation for Nasr. But a lot of teams, though, up north, west, and east, now they're going to have to push in, and there's clearly not enough room for all of these teams. So now is the moment where all the teams start actually going down and going back into the lobby.
I know it's generally on the edge of Monte Nuevo, but I don't like the fact that I8 located themselves in that position. I think it's going to come to bite them in the butt coming into the next circle. Although, for now, they're safe on the edge. Nasr pushing forward. They're going to look to take shots onto Raad, because Raad are in a very good position inside this phase 4.
I actually really like their position. It is a good spread too. I think it's not too big of a spread. It's not too small of a spread. It's just good enough where if a team gets close to you, you can actually assist each another. You can also quickly rotate. I'm hoping that that they do have vehicles under their control. If so, it could be pretty decent for them to play around. Though we are currently seeing a push happen onto the 2 remaining players of Galaxy Racers. And that's going to be Freak left alone trying to go for the pre-fire with the M4 in a 1v3 situation. But as you might know, the odds were not really in his favor. That is going to be it for GXR, as they get eliminated in 16th.
Yeah, I8 on 2 kills. They do take advantage of being on the edge of Monte Nuevo and punishing a team looking to try and stay in this game, but it's not meant to be. GODSENT doing something onto Destiny for the time being, but it's 2 going up against 4, so that's going to be a little bit difficult to contend with.
And Markov Sniper is still trying his best to get the angle with the M4. Trying to shut down a few rotations. I like how GSG is sending 2 players forward, positioning themselves into the circle, securing that spot, sending the 2 other players in after that. I think it's a good attempt, but Esam didn't quite work for him. He's going to get knocked on down. They could still go for the res, as they did go for 2-2 spread to go for that rotation, so I think that's good. But now the Blues are pushing forward. You're going to have to go for a decision eventually, because now the kill feed is just completely lighting up, and in the more northern side, Imperium Destiny just completely obliterate the side of GODSENT, and that's going to be an extra bunch of kills going the way of Destiny. How many are? 7 already, man. They are popping off on this map. What's going on?
The spread from them as well was absolutely fantastic, and I really loved the way they just created a wonderful blanket onto the 2 remaining players of GODSENT, not taking anything for granted. You highlighted GSG's kind of good rotation of sending 2-4-2 back. Well, if there's nothing in terms of weight to really take on a team around you, that's kind of what has happened to them, and now they're left with a solo player on the cusp of the blue zone. The next phase popped up, and I can't see him surviving for much longer.
Yeah, it's Fak. He's going to be trying his best to hopefully avoid detection. Not going to be working out too good. I mean, really, it was a call of desperation, right, from GSG, where they had all the angles on top of that ridge line, and they were just trying to make the most out of it. But unfortunately, there was no easy escape. So Fak is just going to have to try and remain hidden for the time being. Marco doesn't seem too alert of his position, and he's going to put actually most of his focus onto Conqueror.
Oh, wow.
Going to be Reeves, Azzy, and Vito, as they're going to start suffering some really big casualties. As almost two of their players going to get knocked. They're going to go for the res, but yeah, Conqueror, this rotation seems like that might just be the end of the road. Yeah,
it's going to be very tough. You have R3D bearing down upon them across the road, although they themselves do have to move into the circle. They know they have to push any and every team around them back. They can play by the dip at the side of the road as they shift a little bit more west and make their way into the edge of the circle. Fok does get a kill, so he's going to keep his game alive. He's saying, fucking hell, I can't believe I'm still in this game. His 25x9 triple, the one of the 2 players that's standing looking to gatekeep Conqueror.
Okay, well, things are looking pretty good as Marco went down. Now, literally nobody knows where Fat currently plays from, so that could actually work somewhat in his favor, but he still doesn't have an easy rotation. Right now, the team you're looking at just doing great is going to be Yalla Esport, that we do have to say, Imperium came into this game as a 2-man crew. It was only Yusef and Powerful. And we've seen Youssef do so good as a solo player from time to time. You're definitely going to be doing the most out of that one player in this kind of compound. But now teams are slowly going to be trying to push their way forward, put their focus right now to 25x9. And that's going to be one player actually getting knocked down into the blue. And they're just going to try and take every opportunity they can to get these kills. It's literally just waiting for teams to push their way and pick them up one by one. If they are not overwhelmed by sheer power, this could be a strong performance from Yalla.
Yeah, 110%. Looking at I8, they're taking the fight against Nova. Uzum comes in to get a wonderful knock. While the revive's being played out, gotta be careful. Multiple angles in front of you. Destiny rocking up. 7 kills so far in this game. The German representatives want a bit of a slice of this pie, should I say. As I8 back up as a 3-man team. Rin is finished off. YDD is left on his own. One team is replaced by another, and I8 gonna be continually put under pressure.
Yeah, not gonna be too easy for them. We'll see how they can try and make the most out of that kind of position. But this game also, especially for the Western side, Panda trying to push in versus Triple versus Raad. And now the shots are actually gonna be exchanged once again. Though what's really cool with team 14 here is that they can actually nade this compound now of Yalla. They're actually close enough for that to happen. It seems like Yalla want to smoke it up themselves to make sure they are not going to be prone to taking nade or molly damage. So it's a pretty good idea from Yalla Esport, but still, if that push comes on through, it's not going to be easy. But Youssef, I said it, man.
Nice.
This guy is absolutely on fire and instantly confirms that kill. You do not want to allow those reses to come out.
Back onto the fight between I8 and Destiny. A lovely nade opens things up for I8 to control this fight. They get a kill. Beast is looking to try and play out and slow things down. Times is further back, but can't really provide that ultimate body support. And as Beast is wrapping around, and knock comes in. Very well played. But YDD is the one that finishes things off, and the blue zone is going to encapsulate the players of I8, and it's just Refuse left in his own. Has to make a desperate attempt, but Fresh finishes off I8, and we're left with 7 teams.
Wow, what a nice attempt from I8, but unfortunately it seemed like the Destiny took them a little bit too much time and took the wind out of their sails, and they could not push any further than that. And as you said, Fresh did put the last nail in the coffin for this team. So good attempt from I8, but it's not going to be enough to make it into the top 5. Talking about top 5, 5 teams now remain, and Yalla still have their compound, but finally they are not going to be in the circle anymore. So now they're actually going to have to fight for position, and now this 2-man team is going to have to go through thick and thin to actually make this work out.
Oh my god.
Oh wow,
the
Fresh.
Last player of AKRE catches Fresh off guard and really takes the wind out of the sails of Panda, because as a duo they could definitely do something in this circle, holding onto the edge. But now with Tiamo left on his own, it becomes ever harder for him to grab a chicken dinner for his side and really help that push up in the standings. Nova, remember, they're in 2nd place. They're 20 points behind Alliance, who aren't playing in this game 1. And YDD is putting his team into the top 5.
Well, this is an interesting one. 3 teams only have 1 player remaining. Yalla's got 2 and 3. Also for the other side of... How do you say their name, by the way? Z-E?
R3D. No,
R3D. Okay, so Red, I guess, is how we're going to go about it. Youssef going to get knocked on down. Powerful going to try and make it through the plethora of smokes he's been working with. Does get the final play off Nova out of commission. So that's great. He gets spotted away. Yalla will be picked up. And man, my kill feed is bugged right now, so I can't see what's really happening in terms of kill feed. But Red are going to try their best to make it into the circle. They get 2 in there as Joker gets picked up. And now it's going to be Tiamo, the last player of Panda, in a 1v2. Gets the res up to 75% health. Can he pick up a 1v2 to close it off? We'll have to see, but it's definitely looking good for him.
He didn't know. He didn't know. He didn't know where they were, and he probably should have seen those shots, but it wasn't meant to be. In R3D, they are going to be Red. They are your chicken dinner winners for game 1 of the day.
And I'm not going to lie, doing spectating myself, I was getting confused sometimes, like, how is happening? This is so weird. But we had some really good games, actually. Well, this first game at least looked really strong. Panda, we know them right, and that's why I said at the very start that they are good when it comes to understanding the terrain, which they did really good rotations despite being down to 2. They lost Yumi pretty early on in that game. So yeah, Tiamo and Fresh, I think, did a really good job, and Fresh especially being the newest addition to the team. Really stepping up in big ways for the team, so that's great to see. But yeah, Red in general, they took things slow. They knew that push versus Yalla was going to make no sense unless the circle ended up on that compound, that they knew that the odds were not really in the favor of that actually happening. So they just waited it out, made sure they're not going to lose too many players. They did lose 1 to the hands of Powerful, but then they just waited it out, waited for the circle, and then they knew that Yalla had to cross over, so they just picked up the 2 kills back to back and it was able to convert it. Still only 3 kills, so I think it finished like that. They could have got maybe a little bit more, but at the end, it's still a win, and you're not going to argue with it. As long as it works, you cannot say it was a bad game.
No, exactly. And Yalla themselves, though, getting 9 kills in that 4th place, 7 alone for Powerful. Really, really good, especially, as you said, they only started as a 2-man team, so that's something massive. Nova in 5th, 3 kills. 25x9 triple in 6th. Raad in 7th, and it's a little bit of a feels bad man for IA, because I think they were doing a really good job, and they were at a point in the game where there was a kind of a lower amount of players, but
yeah,
we had like 2 or 3 teams with solo players left, so it just meant that there was just less impact on their result, because they ended up finishing 8th, which isn't really that much in terms of placing points.
Yeah, I do want to say something for 25x9 triple. If you guys want to make it to a big event, you got to get that branding on point, because this is it's hard to remember the name sometimes. Okay, we need a more snappy name like Panda. It works good. Destiny works good. We need a new revamp. That's all I'm gonna say.
Too many words. My point. Too many words.
Too many words. My simple brain cannot comprehend. Too many words. Okay.
I can't deal with this. I cannot comprehend. Do not compute. Do not compute.
Yeah, but if I want to say one good thing, though, I really love that rotation from Azza, especially when they were fighting versus Panda, where I think there were times where they could have found closure to that fight a little bit quicker, especially when they found that early knock onto Fresh. I think that should have been converted quickly. But the way that they sent Az onto the offside to actually try and pin down the rest of Panda, despite it not working, they showed intention. And in my eyes, especially for teams that I don't know too much about, intention is the greatest mark of a team's potential in the long run. So just that alone, I'm like, hey, you know what? If they work on being a little bit more snappy, this team could go a long way. So I just want to see hopefully a bit more in the future.
Yeah, I really agree with you in that one.
Better?
Just great theories.
That was not a threat. I don't know.
He's like, you better.
Yeah. That sounded oddly threatening. I don't know why. That was not my intention.
Yes. Destiny 9th place only, but they racked up a good few kills. They got 8 kills for themselves in this game. So look, it may not be the best placement, but when you're talking about getting that lovely cushion of points, they certainly did that in kills.
Yeah, especially because you talked about them being a little bit up and down, not the most consistent team. If you get kills like that all the time, it does go towards that consistency a little bit more. So keep it up, Destiny. But if you do get to the late game a little bit more, and the next game is going to be on Senhawk, so we're expecting that to happen. They could try and play catch up a little bit, because let's not remember that when we looked at Destiny at the start of the day, they were in 4th position, very shy of actually putting himself in 3rd place. But Panda scoring a little bit higher than them in this one is going to secure Panda in top 3. So yeah, Destiny, this next game is going to be the one. It's going to be the make or break kind of deal for them to be in top 3 at the end of the event.
Yeah, 110%. And with Panda doing pretty good, that kind of puts a little bit more pressure in the final 2 games. It negates a little bit of positive, that they did have in that game. Yes, indeed. As I scrambled the... Okay. As I scrambled to find my words, don't know what the hell is going on.
Going to call an ambulance for you? Are you okay? You fine, Imperium?
I'm good. I survived. Whew. Let's go for a break. Get into the room, get the next game ready, and we'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the War of Myth West Finals. Day 3, the final day. We've already had one juicy game go down in Miramar, Maxman, and it was won by R3D, a newcomer in today's games. But no doubt, it was a pretty action-packed game.
It was a pretty fun one. Yeah, great to see some teams having some actual good rotations about this one. But that was Miramar, okay? That's in the past. Well, it was just a few minutes ago. But it's in the past, okay? It's down, okay? It's river under the bridge. So, river under the bridge, water under the bridge. Oh, you know, it's the same thing. Technically, you know, I got a history of going...
Technically is the same thing, but...
Look, I'm renowned for taking sayings and messing them up in some way, shape, or form, okay?
You kind of murdered them, to be honest.
I kind of do that, but you know what? Talking about murder, that is what we're hoping to see coming over here on Sanhok. Map that's all about being aggressive. Rotations are pretty important. Yeah, no, right. But also, I keep saying it many times. Scouting is so important on this map, and I think that so many teams have to learn to scout a lot more on this one. So we'll see. But of course, when you're looking at the potential favorites, one has to be said is Destiny. I talked about it before the start of the show today with the Imperium, and we're hoping to see them potentially perform well. But not only that, as I said, still blank canvas when it comes to a lot of these teams and how they perform on this map. So surprise me, enlighten me, show me what you can do on this one. And if you can do well, good for you, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, 110%. I'd also like to see Panda rock up in Sanhok, as they're known to in this map, and get a bit of a strong team-wide result. Because I think we haven't really seen that from Panda. We've seen them get like good results, but less of a, you know, kind of full squad up late game, nobody going down. So that's something that, yeah, I would like to see. However, this game has gone on. The playing path is what it is. Tends not to be something to worry about in Sanhok. I'm just curious how many kind of hot drops we're going to have.
I like how just a few months ago, they were like, you know what, playing path? Not good. We're going to get rid of it. No more line for you to show where the playing path is going to be going. But you know what? It'll come back eventually, I'm sure. It shall be missed, though. I like that line. Was it black and white? No, it was red and white. It was red and white, right? I can't even remember. It's been so long ago, Imperium. Damn. Anyways, teams are going to be dropping down, and you're actually going to have a little bit of a fight next to, actually inside Summit itself. You're going to be having two teams, and 25x9 triple, going to have to say the entire name, are going to be a little bit closer to each another. But you got to be careful, because you are going to have a few players like Hype, especially. There's a sneaky angle that they need to be wary of, because you move from one building to another, and that's one player down instantly.
Definitely preferring the 25x9's drop inside this area, whereas for MXR, Milky's sandwiched in between multiple 25x9 players, so it's been incredibly difficult for him to get out of. The only thing he can hope for is, like you mentioned, Hype doing something from a side angle to get an initial knock.
That could be it, though. Seeing the kill feed light up. Oh, okay. It's right inside boot camp, so it's going to be lighting up. So I'm going to move over to boot camp right now, MPM. I'm going to have Yalla taking that fight versus Team 16. That's going to be then Triples. Going to be currently taking that fight.
IKRE, you can call them
IKRE, also triple IKRE. We'll go with the IKO. We'll go for the ladder. IKO going to be able to get himself one. Cayenne almost able to get the double to Anas and also Fur for S, but not going to be able to go the entire way, unfortunately. So the one kings of boot camp shall be none other than Yalla Esports.
Wow, that was pretty close. M249 at least proving a little bit effective in a pinch for the last player of IKRE. IKRE more like I dead, as you're back to the lobby, going to be setting yourself up to play the third and final game of the War of Myth West Finals. Panda are overbearing both of these teams in Sammy, so that's something to think about, especially as we consider this phase one. Similar to Miramar, it's massively over on the western side of the map.
It is, right? So these rivers are going to be heavily focused upon, especially you're going to have the trifecta position, which I think would be really valuable for Yalla. Even though I think they want to maybe finish off looting into boot camp itself, there's a lot of potential loot that could be coming their way. But I would say trifecta would be great. Lazarus could go there. Nova could go there also. There's a lot of things you can try and play around, so we'll see which options they're going to decide to go with. But back into Same, we've seen a lot of gunshots going to be taken, actually, but also up to the top side too. And I think you just spec'd it perfectly, Imperium, a fight to happen there.
Yeah, GODSENT working pretty well as a duo to get an initial kill onto the players from R3D, the winners of the last game, so they're down to 3 players. Still holding on to a fantastic compound as a trio up by the edge of the mainland, by the bridge overbearing the likes of Conqueror, GODSENT. But Vito's on his own. He gets knocked down by Psycho, and GODSENT looking pretty good in this Sanhok game so far.
I'm gonna have to go back to GODSENT. Going back to GODSENT. I'm ping-ponging between north and south right now. There's so much action happening. But it's Sanhok. We were to expect that Imperium, so I cannot complain too much.
No.
As now the push is gonna be roaring up. Gonna be having to get himself down Abyss. Instantly put down. Nuggets. Really good spray to actually initiate that one. So you love to see it. GODSENT, are they going to be able to find closure relatively quickly to this? That'll be great for them to secure this position. So, again, get access to the river. That is what you want on this first phase of the Sanhok game.
Like, you know, you're going up an open hill. You got to be going up there with balls of steel. And that's exactly what GODSENT did. Nuggets and Chilias working really well as a duo. Unfortunately, Psycho gets taken out from the back line. So, it is going to be GODSENT left with the duo. 2v2 inside this compound. As one of the R3D players is bleeding out.
Yeah, Deal's got to be careful trying to regroup with Sasano P. So I think that's going to be actually a really good decision. If you get pushed up, you can actually try and control those entry points, such as doors or also the windows a little bit better. While Anubis,
Conqueror?
I believe, can still give some information over that could work in their favor.
Conqueror are looking to possibly join in on a third party.
Oh, yeah.
And I think GODSENT are aware of that, because look at Shidas. He's just moving the hell out of there, and so is Nuggets. Backing away. Maybe heard the vehicle of GODSENT rocking up into his compound. They're like, yeah, we don't want any part of it. You can have that team fight, GODSENT. We're good. Sorry,
especially when you have
Conqueror.
a compound nearby, you're like, there's no real reason. It's not like I must go for that rotation. It's like I could. It would have been good to make it work in their favor, but you know what? It didn't quite go their way, so that's fine. So I propose we actually go down south again, Imperium. I know I've been asking for it a lot. Okay, but I think that we had some pretty interesting stuff that was happening as Panda, I believe, just lost. It's not their last place. Still got Raucous that's actually into the game this time. But yeah, that's going to be a bunch of kills coming out from GXR, and they're already up to 3, so they have been shredding it down here.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit surprised that Panda weren't more aware of that, or even if they... I don't know exactly what went down because I wasn't showing it, but in the first day, Panda got a beautiful squad wipe onto Galaxy Racer cells in the same area. So for Panda to kind of be put down to 1 off the back of Galaxy Racers seemingly kind of catching them out, or at least getting the better, I'm a little bit surprised by that. Good to see Galaxy Racer South's final day looking to step up a little bit, but just surprised that Panda, getting caught.
Yeah, they tried to stay put for a long time, tried to maybe sneak in a little bit of information and a few kills their way onto the compound of Same, but seemed like they just got clapped right in the back of their head. So not going too well, though. Back to the northern side, man. I'm telling you, ping pong, man. We're getting back and forth as Conqueror actually took more and more control, but they don't seem too alert of Asano P and Adele actually being inside this compound. They're just going to be moving in. Reeves, you got to be careful how you move this one. Are they going to leave the compound, or are they just going to park the car? Oh, there you go. That's going to be the spray coming down, and now Reeves got the intel, and they're going to push their way forward onto the 2 players here of this team. Dale takes a pretty big beating, and you say that Molly gets right on top of that table, so that's big to try and avoid the burn damage. Reeves gets on down, and can they take the 2v3 versus Conqueror? That's a very quick answer to my question. That is going to be a no, as Conqueror picked himself up an extra 2, and they're going to get easily that res on top of Reeves.
Combat did wonderfully. The second those shots fired up, he instantly pulled out a molly, threw that out into the room, followed it up with a nade, because what the molly did was the molly suppressed them into the kind of corner room. Then a nade made it so much easier for that to be effective. Job done in distraction by the rest of Conqueror. Made it so much easier for Combat to come in and get the clean squad wipe. Good fight as a team.
Hey, Conqueror, they didn't want to kill them. You know, they were like, hey, do you want to play a game of the floor is lava? And unfortunately, the other teams, like, they didn't know the rules, and they just died. So it feels bad, man, but really good. As you said, Combat did exceptionally well in that fight, so really good to see from him. Though, we're going to have to move towards Cave right now, MP, because I8. We didn't see too many insane things last game on Miramar, so this one hoping to see it turn the tides a little bit in their favor. As UDR killers are actually going to be pushing their way forward. It's going to be Nano and Sandro making their way into the compound. Sebi and Ulysses GG have yet to really join up on the party. So IA, if they can use this moment while UDI is not close together, they could actually overwhelm them. But it seems like IA are not feeling to go hyper-aggressive. They're going to wait for the team to come their way and leave the fight come in their direction.
Uzum is the one that's kind of on the hills and the top side that has to slow down UDR, distract them, and allow Refuse and Blade to work together. Sebi on the other side of the compound is a little bit riskier and a little bit more dangerous. But Uzum does get a knock onto Ulysses, and that is beautifully done by the IA player.
Oh, you sure 100% it is Uzum? I used to call him UZM all the time. But you know what? I'm not even going to have to be able to call UDR because they're just getting absolutely destroyed and wrecked by I8. And Sebi's just going to be pinned down, and now he just lost all of his teammates in a matter of seconds. Trying to go for all nice sprays. Got himself the M4. Going to have to reload and use his first aid kit too. He's still got 3 to go after this one, but that is definitely not going to be enough to take that fight, especially in the blue zone. Going to try and go for the fire. Great shot to Blake. It's the double. What? Sebi, what are you doing? He's just smurfing it. Turn his focus over to the other side. Just go instantly for the first aid. But the blue zone damage is going to be a little bit too high. And he gets mollied away. That might be the end. He gets to heal off in time. Tries to push his way forward. He's taking so much tick damage. Tries to pre-fire everything he can. Let's try and switch over the weapon. Goes for the spray once more. Puts so low. One more bullet. And now is Sebi out of the game. And he does get overwhelmed by the remaining player of UZM. Man, Sebi, what was that? What was happening?
No, like, backs against the wall, 1v3, when they're talking about digging a hole out of that, that's exactly what they... Like, I couldn't have asked for a better attempt. Could not ask for a better attempt of a 1v3. And good play by IA. I appreciate the fact that both of them pushed across the road, but maybe have waited another 10 seconds for UZM to join close to that building. Much higher chance that they wouldn't have lost the player, even if they had gotten one knocked. Most likely it wouldn't have been confirmed. Yeah,
though we got to talk about this circle now. There is confirming somewhat that we're going to be ending on the northwestern island. Destiny already set up for success. Make sure you didn't get pushed up too quickly and too easily, and you should be good to go. And teams that now have yet to rotate over the riverside, it's still possible, but now is where things start to get a little bit sticky, and it starts to get pretty hard to make it from one side of the river to the other. I'm looking at Lazarus, I'm looking at especially GSG. They might have a few issues coming their way, and if you're a team that's even further away from the river, such as 25, such as GXR, also Fate, and even the remaining player Rolkis of PANDA, things are going to get really hard and enticing for the other teams to pick you up as you try and rotate in. So things are going to get very sticky for teams that rotate late on this one.
And even though the whole of the island is in play, it's one of those things where not every part of the island is viable. When you have a big mountain in the middle, it really does dictate a good few of those rotations. So it eliminates the strength of the actual island in terms of spreading out nicely, making it easier for teams moving from the other sides of the map. So yeah, you're dead right. Very, very tricky indeed. But Conqueror, 4 kills once again in this game, and they're putting pressure on Clash.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that we still got some being so spread. They got picked up one other player by Raad, so a little bit all over the place apparently. You know that those are going to be very exposed positions that teams want to try and overtake, so it didn't quite go their way, unfortunately. So we'll see what they can do with their last player, which is going to be Nuggets, which did pretty good in the last fight. So we'll see. As Rolkis picks himself up a kill. My kill feed is still bugged out, so I have no idea what's happening. It's really weird.
Really?
Yeah, okay. No, right. 2 games back to back. I mean, I don't know what's happening. The spectator client is not as good as it used to be, Imperium. It's not as good. It's changed it. I'm like a boomer. It was good back in the days, but not anymore. Sad.
You are a boomer, let's be fair. Even though you're young, you are a boomer, dude.
I got the hairline of a boomer, I'll give you that much. But other than that, no, my meme game is on point.
I wasn't going to say that, man. I you know.
Hey, man, a little bit of self-deprecation did no harm to nobody but myself, okay? That's how it goes.
To be fair, your meme game is on point. TSG's shots game are going to have to be on point if they're coming across Nova on the coastal line of the Northwest Island, but there is another team bearing down as Yalla are getting close to another of the Nova players. The separation for Nova could be their undoing.
Could go a little bit all over the place, trying to see exactly what fights we're looking at. I'm actually going to be pinning over myself to Lazarus right now. That's why I think things could get pretty interesting. And talking about that, Kelly's going to go for the spray, picks up one onto Ref. Going to go down, will be unfortunately knocked down himself, so things not going to go really as planned for them. It will end up being a one-on-one trade. Isawi of Fate, Lath, and Mafia still up and ready to go. At least this time they're not taking a fight as a one-man like last game was Mafia being stranded around by Destiny. This time they actually have a decent shot to take, but not all at the same position. They're very spread, making it really hard to actually go aggressively on this fight, but that means the angles you have are really big, and that's going to be the surprise factor that Lazarus seem to struggle to deal with.
The beautiful molly by the two players of of Fate that were pushing on by, and now Fears from Lazarus is going to have to spread out a little bit to create a bit of space on board, utilizing the few rocks that he has to his protection. Mafia pushing in late in the back line. This is a fantastic turnaround by Fate.
I love it. It seemed like the angles were making it a little bit harder, but now that you actually get yourself the knocks, it's making that push so much easier. Tries to go for Fears, will hide behind that rock in just a nick of time. But you got to think also, there's a third party happening from Nova on the other side of the river, so you can't expose yourself too much. Otherwise, you still could lose your life to the hands of that third party. Sawi tries to get a little bit too deep, and that will cause this demise eventually. Mafia does get sneaky knocked onto Fears, but it's still not too easy. But at least they were able to regroup Mafia and Faith in a 2v2, but I believe they might just get themselves a res onto an extra player. So a 2v3 is just around the corner.
Yeah, a little bit too deep, too early from Isawi. Before Faith and Mafia. Late, should I say, and Mafia are joined on by. Mafia jumps in. He's going to get knocked down. Lazarus come out on top. Faith are terminated in Sandhawk.
Oh my god. There was such a good opportunity for Faith.
It was. It was fantastic. It was.
And then, just like what we saw from Clash in game 1, they push it one by one. It's how it goes first. Then you have yourself the Mafia that goes in, and Lath arrives last. You are not using that man advantage that was given to you. Well, that was not even given to you. You created that advantage, and you're like, you know what? No, I'm going to give myself a handicap. Why do that? There was such a good opportunity. That compound was a must to try and cross that river. And they unfortunately threw it and didn't play it to the optimal position. So hopefully they can learn from that, because that should have been Fate's game every single day of the week.
110%. Nova avoided the action with Yalla, joined back up as a full squad. GSG are left with just a solo player. That phase 3 shift up north does put the mountain in play. Destiny, they are really taking a risk by being super heavily separated, especially considering they came into this game as just a trio. It's going to hit the wall where they need to gather themselves up as a full team.
Definitely seem like that's going to be their focus. Got to be careful, 25, how they push in. Hamoji, I think, might just be going for a heal off. He's not even going to try and potentially cross over that river. He's like, you know what? Nah, I'm out, bro. I'll play some TDMs early on.
Oh, yeah,
it's
he's
fine.
got 15. Yeah.
How many? Wait, let me check.
15 first aids, 1 full medkit.
I mean, man, if I were him, literally, when you got that many, go to a compound and loot more. Literally, if that's your game plan, go to other compounds and get as much as possible. You're phase 3. That's like no tick damage almost. You're fine. Oh, the push from Clash is happening.
Yeah, the push from Clash is happening. Combat goes down. There's a lovely nade. And the French side do come out on top. It's quick as she comes. Now you see me, now you don't. Clash will also be in this next circle as phase 4 shifts over to the west. Camp Alpha is also going to be a home for a few of these teams as they shift from the blue. It's going to be Papa's home for a few of these teams.
Have you seen Sniper, the sneaky devils? They just swam across the entirety of the northwestern island. They just swam the entire way. Boats, no need, man. We need a little bit of exercise. So, hey, I mean, it worked out. I can't complain. But they still have yet to move into the circle, and the compound is closest to them inside the circle, but at least as fully inside the circle, is going to be Clash's compound. And I don't think Clash are ready, because they dropped here. They know this terrain, so they are not expecting a team to push up north. That surprise factor could go up against a fresh team. The fresh team. Yeah. French team, but they're also pretty fresh. They're both.
Yeah.
Same.
Pretty fly for a French guy, yeah. Nova did send themselves into Camp Alpha, so they're committed to that position. Destiny's starting to take shots onto the members of Yalla as they look to wrap around the underside of this mountain. Phase 4 starting to close in. You have Lazarus coming in behind both Destiny and Yalla respectively, being aware that the blue zone is going to start to do a hell of a lot of damage. Shots are being fired up. Sniper does get a knock onto one of the Clash players. Open things up for Sniper to come in and take control of this compound.
Yeah, as I said, it does seem like Clash was just not expecting the team to push up north. And rightly so. If you don't hear a boat, you have no idea the team's going to come from the position which you technically dropped. So Sniper going to go for that full-on offensive push. Trazen going to be very far away from MZ, so it's not going to make it really easy for them to take that fight. And he's going to try and get himself a Lamborghini. Good nade onto Trazen, but I still don't think that fight's going to go their way. They need to leave now. Trazen tries to do so, but there's no escape. He's pinned behind that rock, and MZ tries best to reposition to assist him, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere for them.
Yeah, Trazen stuck between a rock and a hard place. MZ, his teammate, is trying to do something. I'm a little bit surprised that snipers are quite heavily separated. Ladro has a great angle. He's going to see Sniper in the distance, take the shots, misses them for the time being. But Sniper needs to take advantage of their body advantage. They're being picked off one by one for now. You need to make that count.
I mean, Raad are looking for a third party potentially. Sure, they're pretty far away, but if they want, this could actually go their way pretty quickly. Trazen was behind that smoke, so that's going to give him a little bit more breathing space to actually crawl his way towards MZ, so that's huge. I like the intention of Marco, but it seemed like MZ's play of going for the compound to secure position was actually the 10,000 IQ move that Clash needed. So that's giving them a living chance at least. Sure, it's not an easy opportunity, but at least it is a chance, and that's all you really need in PUBG Mobile to make things work out. His nades are going to be exchanged now.
Man, Destiny. The circle shifts in their direction. Fears is knocked down. Swave is doing a wonderful job of just putting so much pressure on the North American side. Like I said, Yalla tried to avoid it on the underside of the mountain, but they've come across their own trouble as it's an open field in front of them. Nova, who did eventually have to move out of Camp Alpha, do have the few buildings by the side of the road able to continue pressure onto Yalla.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do. I'm really impressed with Destiny and how they're controlling this area so far. Going to try and send himself a little bit closer into the circle. I love it. And despite the loss of Mazzaro recently for the team, you know, they got to try and live up because Mazzaro was doing a lot of heavy lifting for the team from time to time. So without that leaves a really big gaping hole. And now you got to try and make sure you can do the most of having Mazzaro not in the team anymore. So Yalla still trying to push their way down. Yusef does get popped away. Anas trying to make over to the tree. Not going to happen. Only Powerful will be left up and ready to go. But Nova, they are just absolutely shredding it, and especially YD is picking up all of those juicy kills for his team.
Yeah, it's a dangerous game when Nova are up as a full squad in the late stage. That, you know, despite them not having the circle now, I still think it's quite dangerous. Raad have done a great job of hugging the side of the mountain and avoiding the onslaught from Destiny. They could be the reason Destiny win this game because they can slow down Nova in a massive way, but Clash, still up as a duo, have been able to survive, strive, Trazen and MZ, dynamic duo, be together for so long as a team. They know each other like the back of their hands. Can they pull something big out?
I mean, he's taking some huge shots onto Powerful, but going to be able to land a bullet or two, so Powerful's going to be now aware of which angle could go against him. The thing is now, Destiny, really send all your players to where Mihi currently stands, I would say. Maybe keep one onto the more southern side of the rocks so you can actually make your way downhill if necessary. I think where Swave is big, and that's going to help them a lot. But now look at that. Nova going to have to push out. They have a lot of utility because they haven't been moving really too much, at least taking fights. So they're going to have an insane amount of utility to make it uphill. But even with all the utility in the world, I don't think this is a rotation that will technically work as long as the teams hit their shots. And Nova lose one. Ziff and Amrin still up and ready to go. But I don't think Nova are going to live long enough to really see the top three.
There's
no way.
My old friend Rin's just going to try and have to heal off and have the battle of the blue zone with himself, while the last player of MZ looking to do the same. Rin goes down, Nova are out in fourth, and we're left with our top three.
Yep, it's going to be, I mean, I think we even know who our top one is going to be. I think it's going to be Destiny, man. They got so much control of the circle. I believe coming their way once again. Yeah, he's going right on top of the rocks. So now the game plan for Destiny is to make sure that Raad cannot move away from that little anchor point that they got behind that terrain. If they can do so, that's huge. Me is actually going to be trying to go down. Yeah. Nade, it was a really close attempt from Seda, actually. Could have been the death of Mihi. But Munir's going to try and push it out. He's going for full send it. YOLO, as he might say, but it doesn't work out. Now it's a 3v1, and Destiny are trying to take full control of this circle. Mihi's going to go for the jump, but does actually get knocked down into the blue. Mihi! What was that, Mihi? Come on, my dude. And he gets naded away at the end. It will still be a Destiny win, but he still gives over a free kill at the end. You know, he's like, you know what? You got the game. We'll give you a kill. Here you go. It's a gift.
Like, just the definition of, YOLO, basically.
Hey, you know what? It's Mihi. Yeah. That's what you have to know.
Pretty much. Absolutely spot on game from Destiny. I was worried about when the circle shifted up, like heavily up north, and the mountain was in play, and they were still separated kind of quite individually, but they got back up at the right time. Nobody really challenged them on top of the mountain. I think if full squad had a full on gone up the mountain, then it would have been a different story, to be fair. But it was what it was. They controlled it in the end, and the amount of kills they got speaks for itself, Maxman.
Yeah, it's just a really good showcase of their capabilities once again. And we said that this is definitely a team that is comfortable on Sandhawk. And they made it work out. I mean, I believe you said they got a 0-pointer on day 1 on this map. So it goes to show that...
Day two.
Oh, it's day 2? Okay. But
yeah.
It goes to show that this is a team that has the up and down even on their best map. But when they perform well on Sandhawk, they get a huge amount of points.
Yeah.
Like, that's a win, plus also all those kills. They're going to look really comfortable. And we said it, they were just shy of our top 3. They were just behind Panda. If they got themselves a big game, this is going to be the break opportunity for them to break it into the top 3, and they made it. I think this is going to be enough points. We'll have to check out once the overall rankings are updated, but I think that this is their ticket to top 3, and we'll see if they can hold on to it, or if Panda want to try and mess with that a little bit in game 3.
Well, even top 2, because the Lions, although they had a solid cushion from third place downwards, they're not playing in today's game, so I think that could even open up Destiny to get second in the standings, which, hey, can't argue with that one. But Nova, let's be fair, consistent result game 1 today, consistent result in game 2 today. It may not be massive chicken dinner winners, but being up there, getting the kills, getting the placement points, really good to see from the North American side.
Yeah, really great to see, especially over here. And I'm not sure exactly where the servers are put or where they localize.
They're EU servers.
So they go able to do that well then and be that consistent with a little bit of ping. You know, like normally you're not supposed to talk too much about ping, but we're not gonna lie, there is a little bit of ping when you do that.
No, there is. It's factual.
I mean, like in official events, right? We like technically we don't talk about that too much, but in this scenario, taking ping into account, that is actually a really good showcase of Nova esports capabilities. Playing from NA into EU. So yeah, good stuff. Being able to be consistent despite that, it is a really good showcase of what this team can do. And after a good game back-to-back over here on day 3 of this event, we could see them remain top 1 at the very end, just above Alliance and Panda, which would be huge from Nova.
Yeah, definitely. And I also think it does kind of create or not prove, or I think that there's an element of ping shouldn't be much of an issue. Oh, okay, so it's like ping does factor into how good a team can play. Of course, lower the ping, the easier it can be to respond, etc. But if you put yourself in the mindset of ping is an issue, it creates a much bigger roadblock, right? It makes it easier to find an excuse, right?
When I die, I blame ping all the time. That's how it is.
Yeah, so I think there is something to be said of like, yeah, okay, it's a factor, but it shouldn't be your automatic go-to answer. If you can play around the ping issue, if you can really kind of preempt it a little bit more and just adapt to it, Nova is the example, I feel. Look at how good they're playing, and they have a bit of a ping issue, you know? Ping issue, apparently. But, you know.
You're my issue, Imperium. I don't know why I said that. That was mean. I'm sorry, man. I apologize. I don't know. It's just spewed out on its own, man. I have no idea.
What in 4K, man? Jesus, like.
God, gee, I know, right? God damn. Damn, man. I haven't cast in like 2 weeks with you, so I'm catching up. It's all the love and all the hate is coming all together, man. It's combining. I don't know. You good? You fine, man?
Yeah, just something.
Sorry, I know it stings.
Throat.
Yeah. Don't cry, man. It's okay.
Of all the things you could have said to me,
hey, I can tell you your beard looks magnificent. Okay, it looks magnifique.
You know what? I'll let you away with that. I'll let you away with that. I will let you, only you, away with that, Max. Anybody else? Anyone else? Get away with it. But anyway, on that note, we're gonna go for a bit of a break. We're gonna get the final game of both the day and the tournament ready for you guys. Don't go away. We'll also do our best to have an update in terms of the overall standings, so you know what we're looking at coming into the final game. We know, then we can tell a better story. So don't go away. We'll see you guys in a couple of minutes. And we are back for the final game of the final day of the War of Myth West Finals. Myself, Imperium, with the wonderful Maxman, breaking things down for you guys. One more game, final game. What's on the line, Max?
Money. And you hyped it all up, and I just like crashed it down. I was like, nah, you're not gonna get that epic moment.
All the time, man. All the time.
Currently, we're fighting, and we can see the overall standings on screen right now, or not? I don't know if we got a cool
now
graphic.
We can, yeah. Now we can.
Now we can. Look at this. Nova Esport now standing in at first place, only 2 points ahead of Alliance, but Alliance are not playing today, so there's no way in hell the Alliance are going to be overtaking Nova Esport once again. And only way that we could see Nova not be in first place is if Nova get a 0-pointer and Destiny get one of the biggest games we've seen in a long, long while. Other than that, Nova Esport and A are pretty much assured to be untouched and remain on the tippity top of the mountain. So now it's a game about who can potentially make their way into the top 5 at the end. Is going to be looking at Raad Esport. We're going to be looking at GODSENT Clash Fate to see if they can try and cross the finish line at the very, very last second.
Yeah, you're right about the fact that there's nobody that can really topple Nova Esports at this stage.
It's unlikely
of the tournament. But indeed, we're into this final game. The playing path is among us. It's a little bit to the north. We're in the hollow grounds of Erangel, Max. Let's get the show on the road.
The hollow grounds of Erangel, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. Hollow grounds of Erangel.
Man, Kalaris says, grassy pastures, you're like sending it to the entire new level. Like send it to the Nether Realm or something down. That's epic. Man, you sound really epic today. I haven't casted with you for like 2 weeks, and I'm like, damn, this guy's pretty epic. He says epic stuff. It's pretty cool. I don't know why I'm going with this. I'm trying to be nice. I was mean to you earlier, so I'm just trying to say nice
Yeah,
things.
I know.
There you go.
I appreciate the effort, man. I appreciate the effort.
Okay, so yeah, pretty northern playing path then, as I said. So you're going to have teams that will maybe have to go for a longer drop down south or go for secondary drop location all around. Though there's a lot of teams in Southern Georgia right now. That is very surprising, and some shots already going to be taken, and it's going to be to the expense of 29x9 triples. So not going to be the best way to start it off, as they have an early altercation versus GODSENT.
Yeah, but Nuggets is knocked down himself, so it's going to be a little bit harder for GODSENT to really come out on top of this one. Traded up quite nicely. Lumimir's pushing forward. Yeah, she has on one side as well, and Psycho is probably going to be the biggest game changer of that fight. I feel if he can get on top of the crates on the sidelines and really punish 25x9 triple from the side, that could prove to be very victorious for GODSENT.
I think Psycho could have actually the perfect angle right now. It's great. And I think the rest of GODSENT is just going to try and flush the entirety of 25 through these containers, and then Psycho will have his opportunity to strike while the iron is hot. I think that's going to be the game plan. So I think that they're trying to lure them forward. And it's working pretty well. Like, 25 did push pretty far. That's an extra 50 meters that were taken in a matter of seconds. And they're going to be leaving Iroj forward. Just going to be maybe serving as the more pivotal point and anchor point for the team to try and facilitate their rotation back towards the buildings down south. And it's actually working pretty well. They made it back. I think that they understood this was a trap and they avoided it, just like in Scooby-Doo. Freddy's not going to put down the trap. It's not going to work out, and you're not going to discover who the villain is. So no, 25 make it away just fine. Yeah,
would have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling kids. As indeed 25x9 triple backing off a little bit. Yalla controlling the South George area. Panda in North George, which is a little bit unusual. I don't remember really seeing them dropping there. But I'm panning over to this fight between Galaxy Racer Celts and UDR Killers. UDR down to 2 nano. Oh my lord, could he have any less health on that bar? That's so close. He does get a first aid off. Has to go back into the balcony. Sandro isn't really close by, but it's a lovely knock by Nano.
Oh, that was an instant knock. That was not even a quarter of a second, and he just instantly got that one knocked down. We'll see if he can try and maybe convert that into an entire team squad. Wipeout goes for a nice drop down. Nano's got very low bullets. He's got a trans-switch weapon. Almost gets the knock himself. But Nano will get overwhelmed eventually, and only Sandro will be left alive, but he will get taken down eventually later on. And that's going to be Galaxy Racer Celts actually going to be able to pick themselves up 4 kills, and we'll get Ralph and Freak back on their 2 feet. GG, what play?
Yeah, definitely respect that push from the last 2 players of UDR. You know, just taking a fight right last game.
Yeah.
You know, do or die. Why not? Nothing to lose. So to speak.
I realized.
And yeah.
Yeah, I realized that Galaxy Racer Celts, man, that took me back to that took me down that memory lane for a sec. I was like, No, I got a tear going down my cheek right now.
You're such a boomer. But Reed's going into the arms of snipers. One of the Conqueror players is knocked down, but Reed's the Irish god. Is he at least able to save something and salvage out of this one? Unfortunately, as he cannot crawl his way, and snipers will at least grab a kill, trade it up against Conquerors.
Oh, wait, I just saw car go right into space. Well, see you later, Lamborghini, I guess. That's okay. Arm Sucker is going to get naded down. What a nade from Reeves. I feel
God,
really like
wow.
Reeves has perfected his nade game in recent month, I would say. This guy's just got playing out of his mind most of the time.
Wow, that's a really good distance as well.
It's pinpoint accuracy.
Pretty solid distance.
Yeah. He's been watching a lot of Chinese tournaments, I'm sure, man. He's been learning from the Chinese gods of PUBG Mobile, and he's been able to.
What do you mean? The Chinese gods learn from him? What you talking about, Willis?
Oh, is that how it goes? Okay.
See, I've got to be a little bit biased, just a little bit biased with Reese.
It is Reese. You know what? Fair enough. Oh. That's how it is. I like how most casters you cast him now are they call him the Irish god because of you. It's it's nice. It's good branding. No, maybe he needs a branding manager, and I'm sure that Reese will try and get in contact soon.
Branding, Reese could do something with a branding manager. Is for sure.
For sure, you would.
Getting into a bit of a. Are they going to disengage away from Yalla? Yeah, okay. They picked up another players, but not before Powerful knocks down Mafia. It is on the side of the building, so Mafia will be revived up. But yeah, Fate definitely don't look like they want to take this fight.
So looking at I also taking that fight versus Triple. Triple's going to be only having one player, unfortunately, and that's going to be Matrix. There's still another player is going to be Rod, but I do not know where he is currently. So, well, that's an unfortunate run of events for him. He's going to be just surrounded by players of IA, and I think there's just a matter of time before he gets spotted away and pushed upon by the entirety of IA.
Oh man, my best friend Crypto's play, Max.
Why you gotta dig at me again? Cool.
Had to, man. Had to. Wasn't throw.